spread out across the country, bringing you the latest from the ground. SABC News reporter Mahlako Komane and video journalist Llewellyn Carstens are monitoring protests in and around Polokwane and have this for us.
Yes, good afternoon indeed. We are here in Seshego, just at the entrance of Seshego, and as you can just see behind me, there is a crowd that is singing songs. This has been going on since we were here earlier on this morning. I am seeing some what looks like was leftovers of rubber bullets. I suppose they were dispersed earlier on. We did meet a member or somebody wearing EFF regalia, showing us some wounds, saying that he had been hit by rubber bullets, saying that they were protesting peacefully, but there was that situations where police had opened fire on them and shot those rubber bullets. But also when you are going into Seshego, we did drive around here as well. There's certain parts of this traffic circle. It is one of the main entrances into this particular township. Some of the roads blockaded. Just behind me here, there's also a shopping complex that is also shut down for the day. But also, let's talk about what is also happening in Polokwane as well. In the CBD, quite a lot of shops there closed for business, almost about 90%, but almost shop after shop. As we drove around, we saw that there was no business or trading that was taking place. We did, however, manage to find some people walking, some saying that they are, small to medium enterprises, saying that they're running their own businesses, speaking about the inconvenience that today's activities has caused them. One particular gentleman telling us that he's a tailor maker. He sews for a living, telling us that he's unable to stock the necessary materials because shops were closed. Another one, I think he's also a hawker. He said that he couldn't, stock vegetables for the day, so there was no business activity that took place. Speaking about the impact that it has had. Some workers, however, saying that they had received communication from their employer saying that they were going to treat today on a no work, no pay policy. So a lot of them saying that they then had to come in. This is some of the bigger retailers. I know one worker that we spoke to saying that he works at one of the bigger furniture stores, telling us that they were told they needed to come to work. However, they have not serviced even one customer during the course of the day because they are salespeople. They rely on people, on the foot traffic walking in and out of the store. So that hadn't happened today. Town quite empty. Even as you drive around towards Limpopo Mall, this is where you'd find the big taxi rank with all the taxis leaving the province as well as local taxis. That is empty in terms of the stalls of the hawkers there. I did see, however, one lady that in all that emptiness, I saw her and a few mangoes there. So that she was the only one that I managed to spot today as we were driving around. A lot of food outlets as well are open, turning away business for the day. But you can see the workers are inside there. Some of them doing what looks like a clean up in terms of, I suppose, using the day to clean, the stores. But so many people affected differently by today's protest. Even the petrol stations, as you drive, you can see they've cordoned off, the tanks where you are, you'd put in your fuel. So quite an interesting mix of what is happening in the CBD. But when you go to suburban Polokwane, there you see a lot of people in the morning. They were jogging. People were getting their fitness goals in. School children, we know that for many schools this today was turned into a public holiday, so that hasn't affected schooling. We drove around the city there. Schools were shut for the day, so that did not affect schooling in terms of schooling. But let me bring in Mr. Rasimayapa. He is the deputy chairperson of the EFF in Limpopo, to give us an update of the other regions, your Mopanis, your Waterberg, as well as your Skukune. What is it that is happening there? But thank you so much for talking to us. Are you able to tell us in terms of today's activities? We saw what happened here. Maybe first let's talk about, we have been hearing reports that some of protesters were shot at and others were arrested. Speak to us about this.
Thank you very much, SABC. Up to so far, we're quite happy about the resilience of our members. Our members are very resilient. They're even able to stand very difficult situations of rubber bullets being shot at them. So now, having this rubber bullet being shot at them, and they're able to stand up. As you can see that they are still protesting, and they are so passionate that the activity of today should be a success, and this activity must bring about the desires, which is water, electricity, and roads in townships and in all the other parts of the district of Capricorn.
And you've spoken about the district of Capricorn. As a provincial leadership, what's happening in the other regions? What are you seeing there?
No, we're all over, like we said before. Vembe, it's responding to the clarion call that there should be a shutdown today. Sekhukhune is responding to the clarion call. Mopani is also busy and in the various parts of Mopani, and Waterberg is busy in the various parts of Waterberg. In Mokopane there, they are closing the N1, and all the shops in the town of Mokopane are not operational. Like you said, in Polokwane, almost all the shops, 99.9% of the shops are closed. The people have responded, people have supported this march, and they responded so positive, and we're happy that at least the call which we made is now receiving support from the ordinary people and workers of our people. And those workers whom are going to be treated on a no work, no pay basis by employers, we are having strategic relationship with unions such as SAF2 and other unions that affiliate under the trade union SAF2 to go and represent these people. And as the EFF labor desk, we're also going to be going out to support and make sure they are not treated on a no work, no pay basis, because this is not of their own making. This is a national condition that we do not have electricity, and as members of the EFF and as residents of South Africa, we need to stand up at one stage to say enough is enough.
So I hear you saying that 99% of the businesses, your estimation there, do you feel that these businesses were closing in support of the call to shut down or fear of vandalization of property?
The only shop that is so very arrogant is Pep in town. All these other shops have closed because they're in support. Electricity affects them a lot. For instance, you go to KFC here in Seshego, during load shedding they close, because if you say, why don't you start the generator, they're saying the profit which we should make is going direct to the generator, to diesel for generation, power generation. So they're no longer making profit. So they're in support solely for the shutdown which was called by the EFF in the country.
So would you call this a success, would you say, in this particular province?
This is a very successful activity. You can attest there's no truck that is moving on the N1. There's no taxi here that has ferried people to town. There's no taxi elsewhere in the province where the activity, even in the mines of Sekhukhune, there's no transport of platinum. In the mines of Tabazimi, there's no transport of platinum. So we have managed to shut the province down, and we're happy that the event became a success. No one is at work. Majority of these companies, some have decided to volunteer, some were forced because the conditions might not be okay. We could not guarantee that they are going to be safe in that regard. Thank you.
Do you have an idea, a number in terms of your fighters that have been arrested? I understand that there's some at the Polokwane police station.
We are currently recorded 37 fighters who are arrested, but we've got a team of lawyers who are busy responding to that shenanigan made by the police.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayep.
Thank you very much.
You've heard that was Rasi Mayep, and he is the deputy chairperson of the EFF in Limpopo, telling us about 37 of their members having been arrested here in this area, in this Capricorn area, rather than the Seshego area, but saying that they have legal representatives to help them out. Also speaking on the issue, saying that he feels that some businesses indeed have volunteered to be part of the call to shut down, saying that issues of electricity also affect these businesses. You know, he makes an example of one fast food outlet saying that they're spending a lot of money, or they're saying to be spending a lot of money on diesel to power up, the generator when load shedding hits. And he's also speaking about the various regions. He spoke about your Capricorn, your Mopani, as well as your Sekhukhune, speaking about, and Vembe as well, speaking about that it was quite successful in terms of that call to shut down. He also mentions that there is no transportation of platinum coming out of the Tabazimbi area. He also spoke about taxis not taking or ferrying people out of this particular township. I did see the opposite this morning. I did see that there were people that were able to get on taxis and, I suppose make their way to whatever destination it was. Even when you are within the town area, while it is quiet, there is movement of taxis. Taxis are able to pick up passengers and so forth. However, we will be here and we will also be moving around, Polokwane and surrounding areas just to get an idea of what is happening there for the rest of the afternoon. There was a promise there as well by EFF leadership in the province that, more numbers were coming out during the course of the day. This is where we stand right now. We'll also see if this will continue to be the case later on this afternoon. And it's back to you in studio.